When driving on the road, it's important to avoid sudden braking as the driver behind you may not have enough time to react. That's why I always emphasize maintaining a safe distance and staying focused while driving. This incident took place on I-80 West at mile marker 72, between Wismix and Jordan Creek Parkway in West Des Moines, Iowa. It appears that the driver attempted to cut off another vehicle in the lane but misjudged the clearance, resulting in a collision with the red purse and the two lanes it was trying to pass. Could the ambulance driver have fallen asleep due to fatigue, even though they weren't driving at a high speed? The warning sign was difficult to notice. Dear drivers, please make sure to stay alert while driving. It seems challenging for her to realize that she's breaking the law. Understanding that prioritizing safety and obeying traffic regulations. In the rain, the BMW accelerated too quickly and started to spin. Fortunately, no one was injured. The crash occurred at a speed of 140 kilometers per hour on a highway with no speed limit.
Oh my.
The collision happened at around 20 miles per hour, and there were no injuries requiring emergency medical services. The drivers exchanged insurance information and then drove away. Everyone, please remember to stay focused when driving. If you need to change lanes in front of another vehicle, try to accelerate slightly and match their speed instead of abruptly hitting the brakes. Early in the morning, there was a red light runner. Perhaps the driver was still groggy from sleep. Luckily, both cars had functioning brakes, preventing a collision. The current weather conditions are challenging. While we can adapt to the traffic laws, it's essential to also comply with them to ensure safety. On the Kuchabiza-Linnegorsk-Menardian-Vody Highway, a 30-year-old driver of an Elada Granta attempted to overtake and veered into the oncoming lane, resulting in a collision with a Hyundai Sonata and a Vaz 2140. Let's all learn the importance of practicing patience. This incident occurred at the intersection of Sick Avenue and Adams in Eugene, Oregon. The front of my car got smashed by a Volvo or a similar vehicle. I was confused by the other driver's decision to turn into my car. It might have been a blind spot, but the driver in the right lane didn't check before changing lanes. Remember, always check your surroundings before changing lanes to avoid subjective judgments. People need to learn how to merge onto freeways. According to the law, you should yield to the traffic already on the freeway, instead of expecting them to yield to you. Thank you for tuning in to today's exciting journey. Remember to drive safely and calmly on all roads. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to stay updated with our upcoming videos. See you again soon. The crash occurred at the 1,815th kilometer mark on the Moscow-Chelyabinsk highway. As you can see, the driver's front brake light comes on, indicating braking. It's evident that the driver was distracted by their phone. I don't understand why the truck carrying other cars blocked the lane, and the leading truck didn't turn on their warning lights or fog lights to improve visibility from a distance. Let's all remember to use warning lights appropriately and prioritize safety. What was she doing that she didn't see the large red vehicle approaching from the left? It was evident that she was also frightened. A van drove on the shoulder to bypass a traffic jam on the highway, passing right by a police officer. Oops, it's a classic case of instant karma. The driver lost consciousness and accelerated to the maximum, resulting in a T-bone collision with a car on the main road. A subsequent police investigation revealed that the driver who lost consciousness had a blood alcohol concentration back nearly 7 times the legal limit, measuring 0.290%. I suspect the driver disabled traction control and stability control, and the car had bald tires. They were driving at an excessive speed for the conditions, which led to the collision with the tree. He had no other option but to swear. It's clear that he needs to learn to concentrate while driving and maintain a safe distance. Wondering what happens when you give in to the temptation of using the bus-only lane to beat traffic during rush hour? Well, sometimes karma has a way of catching up with you. Watching the bottles fall one by one without being able to do anything is more agonizing than if they had all fallen at once. Do you understand now why a dash cam is so important? It helped you stay focused on the road and avoid distractions. Fortunately, no one was injured and everything has been resolved. By reducing the throttle too much, he allowed the front tire to grip the road at too sharp of an angle to the right. However, he didn't correct it in time, causing the car to drift and waiting too long to make the necessary correction. It seems like he either wasn't paying attention or the darkness made it difficult for him to notice the curve. Fortunately, the repair shouldn't be too expensive. Unfortunately, the $1.5 million floating home prototype sank into the water just as it was being unveiled. On the upside, it should be more affordable now. As for the cost, let's just say your momentary lapse of concentration led to pressing the throttle pedal instead of the brakes. This incident occurred as I arrived at work. When it comes to trucks, the driver continuously changes lanes as desired, regardless of the traffic behind. Remember, it's important to consider other drivers' safety on the road. The driver blatantly runs red lights without realizing that the police are stationed there. Hopefully their record is no longer in force standing.
Get him!
Is the poor quality of the AMG TS front bumper to blame? Or did the steering malfunction? Take extra caution when dealing with high-value cars, my friend. When driving on slippery roads, it's crucial not to apply the brakes suddenly. In this incident, both cars sustained significant damage, but fortunately, the driver wasn't seriously injured. Having a dash cam is not only helpful in avoiding collisions, but also assists the police in determining liability in certain situations. It's a wise investment for your safety. The pickup driver failed to check their mirrors and abruptly crossed 2 lanes into the Ochavi lane, causing a crash. Thankfully, the Subaru driver maintained control and reacted swiftly.
Care if I go on this side for right now?
This incident took place in Carmel, New York, on Road 301. The person in front seems to be okay, and their car only suffered minor damage from a branch. The power was restored later that night after several hours of outage. The location of this incident is West Monterey. It seems that the driver's view was obstructed, leading to a blind turn. the blue car lost control as it accelerated onto the highway. Fortunately, the silver car managed to avoid a head-on collision with the truck. Stay cautious and alert while merging onto highways. This was a close call on Manchester Boulevard at Manchester Lakes Drive in Alexandria, Virginia. Thankfully, you were paying attention and remained alert while entering the intersection. The driver cut across 2 lanes of traffic and abruptly hit the brakes after being honked at. This incident occurred on the 15 north from the 78. Remember to drive responsibly and avoid impulsive maneuvers. Imagine the terrifying sight for the driver when an $80,000 truck approaches their Honda. It must have been a wake-up call for the driver who was distracted by their phone. It would be wise to check the driver's cell phone records. My guess is that they don't usually keep their phone on the floor next to the door. The position of the phone suggests that it was in their left hand when the airbags deployed. The driver momentarily forgot to hold the steering wheel while fixating on a text message. Luckily, they looked up in time to avoid further consequences. On the Kucheby-Zelenogorsk-Menardian-Vody highway, blowing smoke at you was wrong, but it's not worth getting road rage. Remember, it doesn't give you the right to damage other people's property. On the Kucheby-Zelenogorsk-Menardian-Vody highway, the 30-year-old driver of an Alata Granta attempted to overtake and rushed into the oncoming lane, resulting in a collision with a Hyundai Sonata and a Vaz 2140. Let's all learn the importance of patience. It appears that the truck merged into the left lane without checking if it was clear, causing the driver to lose control. The truck driver attempted to get back into their lane but was unsuccessful. The driver recklessly rushed onto the road, weaving through traffic and changing lanes abruptly. Luckily, they managed to avoid a collision. Remember to slow down and be cautious on roads with curves. A self-driving SUV starts to pull out in front of me, but then I realize it was yielding to the white car in front. Always be attentive and cautious of other drivers' intentions on the road. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and enable notifications to stay up to date with our latest videos. Thank you for your support. The bad driver of the four-wheeler narrowly avoids colliding with another car. Sadly, this seems to be a common occurrence in Michigan. Let's hope it's not a habit for that driver. Suddenly, a wheel comes off a Mercedes-Benz on one of the busiest commercial streets in Langley, BC. Perhaps the driver forgot to secure a screw while changing the wheels. The driver runs a red light in front of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The camera aptly comments, "That's karma," and then the driver immediately makes an illegal lane change. Always prioritize following traffic laws and avoid risky maneuvers. The driver loses consciousness and accelerates to the maximum, accidentally T-boning the car on the main road. Further police investigation revealed that the driver who lost consciousness had a blood alcohol concentration back of 0.290%, nearly 7 times the legal limit. Remember, never drink and drive. The BMW driver denies being at fault but keeps changing directions. At this point, they have come to a complete stop. It's important to take responsibility for our actions on the road. Always check your blind spots before changing lanes and try to avoid lingering in other drivers' blind spots. This tip will help you succeed in ensuring safer lane changes. This incident occurred in West Hollywood, California. Never run a red light, as you never know if the police might be right behind you. It seems that the collision was a result of cornering too fast, locking the brakes, and losing control of the steering wheel. Regardless, the driver admitted fault, and their insurance took full responsibility for the incident.